Done.
Aaron,
All the
it's
way
done.
to the editor now.
It's done. How does that feel to have your chapter done?
Wonderful. Uplifting.
Yes, I
Relieving.
Relieving.
relieved.
Relieved. Agreed.
So we're so excited to be celebrating with Aaron here today because he's finished his chapter. It's getting sent off to the editor and he's on to the next step. So we are going to be talking in today's episode a little bit more about Aaron's writing process and what the whole thing was like. And I love what we were talking about just moments ago, Aaron, about finishing the chapter because I feel like I'm a little stuck in the same feeling right now
Of
about
procrastination.
you might have nailed the exact word that I was thinking of, Francine. So you were saying that working on the chapter had been on your to-do list for a couple weeks, Aaron.
Probably like a month and a half. I feel like it's
Yeah,
been about that long.
yeah.
Maybe it was January when we last discussed it. But yes, it's. I've been trying to get myself to do it uh, every day, not consciously every day, but every week it's been on my list, and I've been avoiding it.
Okay, let's dig down into this. Why have you been avoiding it? For all the people who tell me, because I do classes on writing your memoir and writing your book and writing your chapters. And so many people procrastinate. So you can help motivate these people. What was making you have it on your list but not getting to it? And then what finally made you do it?
Well, being a billionaire and having like 20 projects that I'm working on at all times for 25 hours a day is the first reason. Second reason is very psychological. Everyday things that I might be experiencing, putting me into a mental space. And then the subject matter of what I'm writing about is something I might want to be avoiding while I'm dealing with these other things, lest I fall into the trap of the slippery hole down and back into the darkness.
Oh, I totally get that. And I think you tap into the core of my avoider on working on my chapter as well, because it's not just like the everyday writing that I do. I do a lot of writing, a lot, a lot of writing. And this chapter is more challenging because I'm also working through personal trauma and beliefs about certain things. And none of that is fun. But I realized that unless I face these things, they keep popping up in my life in places that I don't want them to. It's just like whack-a-mole, where like all of a sudden it's like, why are you popping up right now? This is not a good time for you to be here. Oh, I was just going to be successful at this, and then this shows up. It's kind of like one of those things. So I get it where you're coming from
Well,
about that feeling.
and I even hear that from one of the people in my senior citizens class was avoiding a whole period in her life because she didn't know how to portray her mother because she didn't have the closest relationship with her mother. And I said, then if you're leaving this as a legacy to your kids, then by all means, write exactly how you feel. And when she did, she said, oh, that feels so much better because the more I wrote, the more I realized my mom wasn't that bad after all.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and I think like just tapping into emotions and feelings is difficult for a lot of people. I was talking to my mentor earlier this week, and we were talking about a certain situation, and he says, "Well, how does that make you feel?" And everything that I was replying to that really wasn't an emotion. It was just like another situation that people would classify as bad or hard or difficult. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't, it's like a big ball of all these emotions. So I can't even name one. So how do I even communicate this story? And so what I ended up doing is remembering about this chart I saw. And it was about like all the different emotions that you feel. And it was like in a wheel, and it starts from like the inside and then goes out. I can't exactly think what it's called right now, but Francine, when you're talking later, I'll go find a picture of it. But I took that out as I was trying to write down some of the feelings that I had around my chapter to communicate it better. Oh, having a list there just made it so much easier, and it lifted this weight of, oh, this is going to be so hard to write this chapter, to try and communicate all these confusing emotions. And that was really one of the huge reasons why I was avoiding going back to my chapter to write, was I was having a really hard time expressing all the complicated emotions that I felt in that moment, and it needed to be expressed in the story. So, Erin, how do you feel like you did as you were writing your chapter? How was your experience with getting all of that down into words?
It was pretty easy.
Yeah?
I tell my story a lot. That helps. And I have a lot of experience writing stories from 6 years of having really nothing else to do with my life other than write and dream. So, like I said, I tell the story a lot. Every time I bring a new artist into the studio, I tell them a form of a story that involves everything that I wrote about in some way. So the first time I wrote it, it was sitting in the park and saying it's time to write this, pulling out my notebook and just done. As fast as the words can come out. It was just like talking it, but I had to write it. So it was actually slower than the words were coming, or the thoughts or the ideas. And as far as the suggestions and edits and we'll call it a rewrite, that was easy too. Because, well, first I got charged with finishing some other projects and succeeding at a few things. So I was on a high. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get all sorts of stuff done now. And I just sat down that moment outside and the sun hitting on me, and I pulled out the notebook and I just wrote what I needed to write. It was just one page or two paragraphs. And it's just, yep, that's done. And when I finished it, I thought, why couldn't I have done that anytime in the last 2 months? And of course, the answer is because I didn't want to open up that thought box in the vibration that I was in, which was already a low vibration. And in that vibration, when I opened up that thought box on this subject matter, it really can drag me down. So that's the main reason. But once I was out and above it in such a high vibing place, then it was like, oh yeah, I just got to write this chapter real quick.
So you were actually using Heidi's emotional scale without realizing it. You waited till you were at a higher emotional level before you wanted to dig into those emotions.
Well, I can't take credit for it because it's not like I was consciously waiting for it. I just my level happened to rise above into the place where it's like, okay, this Aaron person is ready to do this now. He's capable of it. And then it's like, whoever is controlling me with the strings that are attached to me had me do it for sure.
But see, that's a fantastic point, is sometimes your body is telling you that you're not ready yet. And then when you become ready, and it's not up here that becomes ready, it's in here that becomes ready. And then all of a sudden your body says, ooh, you can do this now.
Yeah, I totally feel that. It's like we have a battery charge within us. So when you're able to, here's a great example: the tale of two mornings. The morning that you wake up and everything is chill. And Aaron, I know you have cats, so you roll over and you give your cat a hug and it starts purring, and you're like, oh, this is so nice. And then it's like a nice leisurely morning where you get your coffee and it's quiet and there's no like news or loud shouting people around you, and it's just calm. The other morning, you wake up right away, you check your phone, you're scrolling on social media, you see that somebody's friend died. Oh, you're really sad about that for a minute. You turn on the news, you're like, oh my gosh, like the world might be coming to an end. Oh, I'm late for work now, and off you go. One version is going to have you drained before you even get out the door. And the other version of the morning is going to charge up that inner battery. And if you can start to recognize these kind of patterns in yourself, you start to get a little bit more control of your creativity. And one thing I heard you say, Aaron, is you were in like mentally, you were in a good space. Your battery was charged up, but you were also like outside, in the environment that you put yourself in also helped awaken that creativity that was like, now it's time to tell the story. Yeah. So, and sometimes it's not ideal. I would procrastinate a bunch because the environment wasn't perfect for me to sit down and write a song or whatever it was that I'm working on. And I challenged myself when I was writing my album with Mask, because I was working a lot of hours, to just write on my lunch breaks, which is not ideal. My brain was still spinning from work. I'm hungry. I'm trying to like eat food, and I have 30 minutes to do this and then get back to the office. Well, luckily there was a park really close to work. And so I would go there to try and get that peaceful, tranquil, this is where I can tap into some creative energy and write space. And it wasn't ideal. It wasn't great, but thanks to the park, I got it done.
Oh, and I did something similar, but I went and I did a walking meditation through the park, got to the river, did a little yoga, went back to work, finished my workday with a clear head. And then on my way home from work, the creativity wheel started flowing. So when I got home, I was able to write more. So everybody, it's not the same for everybody. Everybody has to find what works for them. But what I do know is when I was doing what Heidi was doing, every lunch break, trying to eat and write and figure stuff out, and then knowing that in 25 minutes I have customers waiting for me, nothing was getting done because my brain was just spinning and spinning and spinning. And that is one thing that I love to teach people is when you slow down, take a deep breath, you're really speeding up.
And it's very true, even though our brains keep telling us, or we've been taught maybe, you gotta work hard, hustle, hustle, hustle. You have time to lean, you have time to clean. And so it's always going, going, going. And that becomes part of the problem for procrastination and avoidance as well.
That is so true. And the more I've been doing videos on the subject, and the more I do it, the more I think back to how I was back then. Because when I would work through lunch, the first thing I wanted to do when I got home was sit down and drink a glass of wine because my brain was completely fried. When I decided to charge my battery during lunch and do something uplifting, when I got home, I went for another walk and I still got more done.
It's true. The power of a charged up brain can make some of those things that seem very, very difficult at the time come together really fast. And I've found the same thing too. The challenge is breaking out of those hustle habits. At least for me, I find a lot of times. If I'm not paying attention, I very quickly will fall back into it. And I think, Aaron, you kind of talked a little bit about that too, even with writing the chapter. It sounds like you've established some habits as well to be able to keep your battery charged so that you're not falling down into the deep dark hole. Maybe that's what I think I heard you say.
Sounds good.
Well, another thing that I noticed, you had a to-do list. You showed us your to-do list. And how did it make you feel seeing that same to-do on the to-do list for 2 months?
Along with the other few things that were under it that's still on my to-do list. It's just carrying over. So it's been a habitual thing having things carry over, more than one thing. But writing it every week, finish the chapter, or Book of Aaron, as I wrote here, is keeping it in the forefront. So I know that it's something I have to do. It's inevitable. And I also knew that I was reaching a deadline. Like, hey, I got to get this done before it goes out, or otherwise I'm going to miss the boat. And this is going to be the biggest book in history. Of course, I want to be in it. So that was part of it. And right when I had the thought, I need to get on this, that's when I realized that, hey, I'm at level 11 right now. Do it. You have an abundance of or accumulation of energy points at the moment. And it was actually this Sunday, I think, Easter. Yeah. I believe that's when I actually did it, because I do the to-do list for the week on the weekend. So.
And Mark just said making a list is a good idea.
And I said I love lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta write it down.
My list is in the form of a calendar, so I could see when everything is due.
Yes, mine has officially moved over to my calendar as well, and it's a very great way to organize if you haven't tried it out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one thing that does get the stuff done on my list, more than anything, more than keeping the list, more than saying, well, you're just going to have to do it today, is having people that are checking in with me and helping me hold myself accountable to getting projects done that I say that I want to work on.
This is the perfect time to talk about portal parties.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about portal parties. Stormy's here to talk about portal parties. She loves portal parties.
So what is a portal party?
Well, a portal party is a great time for you to get some feedback on your writing. And it doesn't have to be a chapter in our anthology, although that would be good. It could be for anything. It could be for content, for your website, for social media. It could be for a book that you're working on your own, a song. Lots and lots of writing projects out there.
Sue said that she has me and Anna to kick her butt when needed.
Yes. We all need a little butt kicking once in a while. Don't even say that you don't.
But we do it in a fun way during the portal parties.
That's right. It doesn't hurt one bit, you know?
Well, oh wait, Sue, did it hurt when we had the portal party and you ended with a finished book?
Oh, and I heard from the last portal party that Sue has an outline for her chapter.
She does.
So, another reason why portal parties are so cool, because, you know, you have a place to go back to where you can say, oh, look what I got done. And you can celebrate, just like we're doing here today with Erin, which turns out to be another habit that people don't do nearly enough, is celebrate.
The little victories.
The little victories, the things that could make you happy every day. Because what ends up happening a lot of times, especially with those of us that have that hustle in our head, is you work toward a goal and you get there. Yay, chapter's done. And then as soon as the live stream is over, we're just going to forget about it. And we're going to go, okay, now we got to get something else done. So, Erin, even when the live stream is over today, I want you to think about when you look at your to-do list and you don't see it on there anymore, just do a little celebration, just a little extra celebration that it's done, because you deserve it. You did the work, you got it done. Congratulations.
Say woohoo.
I'm celebrating thinking about the royalty checks right now. Sorry.
Oh yeah, oh
ahead
yeah. Fantastic. All right, so Francine, do you want to tell them a little bit more about the anthology project?
Yes. The Believe You Can anthology is going to be a book of several authors. We have 8 or 9 authors now, and we're looking for 29 more, 30 more. So we have plenty of room if you want to join us. We're each writing 12 to 1500 words, and the story is about how you believed you could do something and did it. Something that, like, maybe someone said, oh, you can't do that, or they laughed at you, or you didn't know how you would do it, but somehow you did. Because the goal of this book is to compile all of these inspiring stories together so people who are in the same situation can have something to look at and say, if she did it, maybe I can too. Did that explain what's in our hearts?
I think so. And, you know, if you have been thinking about writing a book, but you're getting stuck either on what do I write about, or oh my goodness, what comes next? How do I get it published? How am I going to market it? How am I going to do any of this? You don't have to worry. When you join the anthology, it's going to be a slow, easygoing process, and you're going to learn as you go. And when you join the anthology, your cost for the seat covers everything for the book. Plus, you know, if we get our 52 authors, we have some fun plans in place of some things that we're going to do for marketing and other things. So all of that's included with your seat price for the collaboration.
Okay, Sue just wrote, do you remember the story we decided on? And that's something that I wanted to talk about, because in Sue's chapter, she is going to talk about finding out that her son was going to be disabled when she was pregnant, and how she decided she was going to keep her baby, and how she's raised him as a single mother. And the beauty of writing that story is there are so many families in that situation now, and she could be an inspiration to them to know that it is possible to do it and have a happy and healthy young man like Ben, Sue's son. But the beauty of this is, along with her writing this chapter to inspire other people, she is also putting the spotlight on the business that she and Ben are creating. They're writing this children's book series together. She told me during the portal party that they're going to revive their sock business, the tie-dye sock business. And I can't wait to see how that works. Down syndrome was not a problem, but the boy was. She was more scared of having a boy than the Down syndrome. And I think that's a beautiful part of her story. But she is doing this to give Ben a job, to give Ben something to look forward to give Ben some added income. So we could shine the spotlight on this little mother-son business they're starting. And I just think that's the beautiful part of it. Do you have something in your life that joining a community like this could shine a light on? Hello, David. Hello again.
Hey, David. Yeah, I am. Every time we get a new author, I'm just so excited to hear how their story comes out. And it's just really moving stories, and it's something that I wasn't expecting.
Okay. Here's the next thing. We only have 3 minutes left. So now, please explain I just drew a blank, the word, the program where people bring authors in that they get a little kickback.
Oh, the affiliate program.
Thank you. Yes, the affiliate program.
So you could be an affiliate for the Believe anthology. There's two ways to go about it. You can join the anthology and you automatically become an affiliate. So if you tell your friends to join you, because it's always more fun to work on projects with friends. And plus, we never hang out enough. So, bring some friends in. And when you do, you get 15% for helping us reach our goal of 52 authors, because it's just me and Francine. And, we're trying to spread the word as much as we can, but we need your help, which is why we have this affiliate program going on. And if you are looking at the cost of the affiliate program, you're like, oh, it's like a bit much for me. It's a great opportunity for you to find some of your friends, team up together and say, hey, let's all write some chapters. And then you're going to have some discounts going toward your anthology seat and make it a little bit more affordable for you. So if you have more questions about that, a really great time to ask them is next week, immediately after the live stream. We have a Q&A session that happens the second Tuesday at like 5:05 or 5:03, depending on how quickly we get off the live stream and jump over to the Zoom room. So next week we have the Q&A, and I'm just going to put it in the link so that if you want to get that on your calendar, you can do that, and I will put that in the chat here. And Francine, I'll put this in the chat here for you to put it for your people. And that is next week on Tuesday. So you can ask all kinds of questions, anything about the anthology, anything about a portal party, anything about being an affiliate. It is your time to ask us anything.
And if there are no questions, well, maybe we could just turn it into a portal party. You just never know.
You just
And
never know.
if you want a portal party, how could they sign up and see our calendar for that?
They just need to go to our website, which I can put this back over here so it scrolls along the bottom. You can also scan that QR code. That'll take you to the same spot. When you scroll about halfway down the page, there's a sign up so that you can access our calendar. And when you get to the calendar, if you see a portal party date that you want to attend, just go ahead and add the calendar to your digital calendar. You'll see the option in the right-hand corner when you click on the event. And that way, you won't forget.
And if we don't have one planned for a time you are available, let us know because we need to schedule more. And I want to be able to schedule them at times people are available to show up.
Yes. So if you don't see a portal party time that works out for you, you can either email me, you'll see the email on the website, or if you're seeing this live stream, you can type party in the chat and we'll reach out to you and we'll get a date set up.
We can do that.
We can do that. All right, Francine, let's take this thing out.
Let's
If
do it.
you can conceive it, you can believe it, and you can achieve it.
From the head to the heart to the hands.
Yes,
Yes,
you can.
Woo!
Congratulations, Erin. We're so proud of you.